So I decided that for the new format, just before the ban list, I wanted to pick up Altergeist for two reasons. One, this deck is extremely easy to play. Some might say almost brainless, which, in my opinion, may or may not be. Not completely so. I'm not an Altergeist master, but after testing it for a few days and having a little bit of fun with it, I can definitely say that this deck has a lot of different interesting combos and a lot of extenders that this deck can go into, surprisingly. This is going to be the first episode in a series I'm going to call Deck in Progress, where I go over decks I've been testing, not exactly anything I've mastered or anything, or like higher profiles like the Cosmo one was, where I've been testing it for so long that the deck is just third nature to me. But this is just the build that I've settled on just before Savage Strike, and how I've been playing it online. Given that being said, there's a few things in here I want to make clear ahead of time. This is not a final list. And I would love actually to get some tips and tricks from you guys about how I can make this deck better. Two of the things I know I need to get are trap tricks, which I've tested on like Dueling Book and other places, and infinite permanence, which I am not spending $70+ on each of those just for a deck I want to try. So I've put in decent, air quotes, decent replacements in here, and I will point them out when necessary. So let's get right to it. For the monsters, it's basically just the same Altergeist lineup that you see everywhere. 3 Multifaker, 3 Marionetter, 3 Maluseek, 2 Silk, and 1 Konkiri. You can't really deviate much from this, at least not yet until we get the new pot card in Savage Strike. But I think this is probably the best. Like, I agree that this is probably the best ratio of monsters to play. So, not much to say there. For hand traps, 3 Ash, and these are going to be in permanences. They're not at the moment, obviously, because that shit is expensive. But if I was to play in permanents, I would probably cut these. These are the cards I'd cut, because I don't think this deck has an issue against spells, because I'm maining Metaverse and Imperial Order, and this is just here because it can be. Like, it's really just a slot filler. And yeah, Trap Tricks is probably another card after I get the impermanences I would actually pick up. Or excuse me, I'd get the Trap Tricks before I pick up the impermanences, because I prefer the normal spells over a lot of the continuous spells in this deck. So for the actual traps, 3 Spoofing, 2 Protocol, 2 Manifestation. This is probably subject to change after the new format when we get Savage Strike. I'll probably cut Manifestation to 1 and then Protocol may go to 3 perhaps. And then depending on the ban list, we may or may not be losing Spoofing depending on how close to the OCG we are going to be after this new ban list. So not really much change there. It's about the same standard lineup for those. 1 Imperial Order. This thing's a blowout against basically everything that runs spells. Striker. This thing's garbage against Thunder Dragons, but your matchup against Thunder Dragons is okay enough to where you can play things like this and Metaverse to out spells, so this is really good. 2 Lost Wind. This is a replacement for impermanence for a few reasons. One, it's another Trap Tricks target, which, again, I will pick up eventually, but I don't know when, because I just don't have the funds at the moment because I'm a struggling college student. But this helps, it's defensive and offensive, so this, basically, you're able to break through skill while also cutting your stuff in half, but you can do it in the damage step too. So in the mirror, this thing is really good against something like Maluseek. When they declare an attack, they have to either replay or just cancel the attack altogether. You can set it off Trap Tricks and then get its effect resolved. It's basically just better breakthrough skill, and it's reusable and depending on the match. It's actually really good against Thunder Dragons too. Chaining it to like a Titan or something actually is just really powerful. 2 Metaverse for the 2 Secret Village I play. After I get Trap Tricks, this is still going to be at 2. Yeah, I mean, just being able to get Trap Tricks into this, I'll probably, like, depending on how I'm going to play Trap Tricks, I'm probably going to play 2 of it and then 2 of each of the other normal traps. Like I'll be siding the Dusters, except for me, like, I'll probably side 2 Duster, 2 Mind Crush, and then main 1 more Duster. And then I'll keep maining this and the 2 Lost Winds, so. For the actual power traps, in my opinion, the traps that you always want to resolve and make multi-figure off of is these. Just Strike plus multi-figure is really good. Like, it's immediately 2 interruptions. It gets rid of problem cards. It can deal with hand traps depending on the turn. I don't run Call by the Grave because spells are just not as important in this deck. The only spells you run are the Seeker Village, which in fact I will get to it right now. The 2 Seeker Village and the 3 Pots. These 3 are probably debatable, but like, to be honest, this could be double desires and duality, or excuse me, 3 desires with no duality. But after we get the new spell, this thing is going, like, these are going out completely. And except, well, I'll probably run 2 of the new one and maybe 1 duality, because you can still resolve duality under the new Pot's effect where you can't draw. At least to what I've heard, you can. But that's it for the main. Pretty basic, like without trap tricks, it's just basically just traps plus marionette or multi-figure. For extra, for the only monsters that actually matter, Link Rebo, 3 Hextia, and then 1 Wee Witch. This is for the mirror. You play it so that way you can run over things like Border, which is probably your... It sucks. I hate that card. Ban Border. It won't, but I hate it, so ban it. Link Rebo, because you can make it under... You can make it with Maluseek and then get another search. You can do the same thing with Claire and Rushka. This card is actually in here just for under Rivalry, but after I cut Rivalry in the next format, this will probably come out. And then Hextia is just Hextia. I'm actually considering playing both of these after we get the new spell. That way I can continue to link climb while still be underneath Marionette, or excuse me, Multi-Faker's special summoning condition. So these will probably stay in here just because, like, even if I banish 3 Hextia off all the pots, then I'll still have something. So, and for the extra and the other extra monsters that don't really matter, Underclock, you're never gonna make it. You make this if you have Mermaid, or if your opponent gives you Ibly. This, and I currently don't own Borrowlord or Borrowsword, so this is my replacement. This is Borrowlord or Borrowsword. Play one of them. Or Bomber if you absolutely want to be a meme lord or something, with like Bomber plus Multi-Figure in hand. So that's it for the deck. Some cards I'm considering playing are quite different, in my opinion, like what I usually do. This is a trap-based deck, which is something I don't usually play. So the cards I really like in this deck, I guess I might as well just go over the side deck, which is, again, very rough, but it's meant to be played for both decks that I currently play right now, which is Altergeist and Cosmo. 3 Pankratops for outing Border in the mirror. 3 Sphere Mode for Thunder Dragons. Kaijus for everything else. And then 3 Dusters for the mirror. Because I don't own Trap Tricks, I don't want to play any less than this right now. And 2 Mind Crush, just because it's an interesting card that you can play in Altergeist. Ripping a card out of your opponent's hand and then just summoning Multi-Figure is really good. Hitting Engage or in the mirror hitting Multi-Figure is amazing. So, yeah, the cards so like I said, this deck is still very much in progress, so I'd like to actually hear what you guys think about the deck. For one thing, borders are a must in the side for me. I don't have them on me at the moment. They're currently in a box somewhere. But yeah, Trap Tricks and Impermanence are the next on my list, so please give me any advice if you have any. Thanks. Bye.